Hello, welcome back to the channel. We are Bars and Barbells. I'm Sam, this is Phil, and we have more Rolling Stones for you today. And we are coming to emotional rescue from a special request from Jamie.
Thanks so much for making another request, Jamie.
Yeah.
Been a tremendous supporter, long-time supporter throughout our journey on this channel. And the last one that he made was Steely Dan. It was the first time that we got to Steely Dan.
Right?
Yeah. And we've probably got more Steely Dan to do now in the future because we've opened up that rabbit hole and we've dove into it. But apparently there's a lot more to get to.
Yeah.
And he's made a lot of other requests on the channel. Slow Ride was another one by Foghat. You guys were loving that one that we did. So we're coming to the Rolling Stones on this one. Emotional Rescue, 1980 release. Little later in the Rolling Stones career. They're well established at this point.
Yeah, a lot of the stuff that we've done so far on the channel has been from earlier on in their career. So it'd be interesting to see what they sound like at this point.
Yeah, because as we know, music trends tend to change. But yeah. I mean, with Rolling Stones, that's not necessarily applicable because they tend to have a different sound on almost every single track that we do.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah,
right?
Like a different flavor.
We did Wild Horses, I think was the last one. And that was this ballad feel that they gave us. And we've done Faraway Eyes is another one where that was like a country feel almost.
Yeah.
And then they have the hard, rock hitters that are, like Paint It Black and Sympathy for the Devil. And those were ones that we first started with, right?
Yeah, but even those had like different influences in them almost.
Yeah, some of them had like an Eastern influence to it. And so clearly, the Rolling Stones just do whatever they want. It doesn't matter, which is why we love them because we never know what to expect when we get into a song.
It's cool when a band will take risks, right? And, I think some people play it safe and always keep their sound the exact same because they'd rather replicate what works. Whereas other bands bring in creative influence and like want to try new things. And, it really shows that they care about their artistry and, embracing what they actually want to do as artists.
Yeah, and apparently this song did pretty well. It went to number 3, I think, on the Billboard Hot 100.
Yeah, I think 9 in the UK or something like that.
Yeah. So this is the same title name for the album, Emotional Rescue. Anyways, without further ado, let's get into more of the Rolling Stones' Emotional Rescue. What is going on right now? pause it here.
Definitely an interesting vocal change in this one.
I never in a million years would have ever imagined that there would be a Rolling Stones song that sounded like this.
I know Mick Jagger's just getting all the way up there in those high notes.
Falsetto. I thought it was the Bee Gees when we first got into this.
This is not what I was expecting at all.
So different.
It's cool though.
And that is because we foreshadowed this in the beginning of our video by saying they always switch it up.
Yeah, no, this is definitely switching it all the way up. Definitely almost like sounds like, because this is from the 80s, right? So sounds almost disco-y a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it does have the 70s. That's what I mean. Like the Bee Gees, the 70s disco feel.
Yeah.
1980, the tail end of that. But I would still never, ever have guessed that the Rolling Stones would have used that sound.
Yeah.
You know, it just doesn't seem like something that you'd ever define the Rolling Stones as. But it's not a bad song in any way. I mean, really, really catchy. It's, you know, kind of like a disco blues mix.
Yeah, well, I think the saxophone that came in also gave it a little bit more of that jazzy kind of blues sound a little bit too.
Yeah, I mean, even the keys, I feel like to a certain extent, the way they have the melody coming through.
I think also too, maybe you're getting a little bit of the blues feel because I do feel like the bass and the drums sit further ahead in the mix, and like the actual, like the guitar work and the other stuff is more in the back.
Well,
and
there's basically no guitar work at all.
Yeah, I feel like it's like very subtle in the back, but I feel like that strong bass line is like also gives it more of that blues kind of rhythm.
Yeah, but I mean, that was also prominent in disco, right?
Yeah.
The bass line for the dancing aspect,
yeah, that's
right?
fair.
But it's very prominent. The bass is really, really, you know, noticeable in this one, alongside obviously the vocal, which is, you know, the counter to that, the contrast is you know, the booming bass with this falsetto vocal, which I've never heard Mick Jagger do before.
I didn't even know. Well, I mean, obviously he's super talented, but I just didn't even know that was like in his forte.
Wheelhouse.
Yeah.
Yeah. Totally good night. If you asked me, you know, if you told me this in advance, I wouldn't have believed you.
Yeah. Or like if you just put this on and asked me who this was, I would never think it was Rolling Stones.
No. So very, very different. Let's continue and see where we go. Disco balls here.
So silent in the night, so stealthy, so animal quiet. I'll be your savior, steadfast and true. I'll come to your emotional rescue. I'll come to your emotional rescue. Yeah, it should be mine.
Nice little fade out.
That was the Rolling Stones' Emotional Rescue. Even had the disco ball sitting to the side there on this one. And this is, I believe, the official video for the Rolling Stones. So clearly they weren't hiding or being shy about the fact that that's what they were doing.
Yeah.
Sometimes when videos that we've done in the past, right, we've felt like it had a certain sound or vibe to it. And people disagree, right? And say, no, they weren't doing that just because it had, a steady groove and a bass line and, more of this dance vibe. But I think it's really, really hard to get away from the disco feel in this one.
For sure, I would agree with that. And I feel like the lyrics were interesting too. Like, obviously, the song overall is kind of portraying somebody wanting to save somebody from a poor relationship and essentially saying, like, you're not being treated well, you're being treated like a pet, and like use some animal references. And like, I think he said, like, you're like his pet Pekingese, which is a breed of a dog, and like different stuff in there. But then at the end, like, interesting, like, I'll be your knight in shining armor riding through the desert, and like, just kind of all of these imageries of savior,
being a savior.
Yeah, exactly.
Emotionally in a relationship.
Emotional rescue.
Yeah. Which is, it's cool. It was interesting. They had that, lyrical presence there, but it was also comedic in the way he was delivering the lyrics at some points anyways. It was also interesting that they had the layering of the vocal where they had that falsetto in certain sections, but then they had his normalized vocal in there, but they were, layered. So it had this almost natural echo falsetto feel, which you don't get in many songs at all. Very unique, but not unexpected, as we said, with the Rolling Stones.
Yeah.
And the saxophone was probably the most standout portion of this. I thought it was beautiful. It was, it sounded great. It wasn't right at the forefront, but it was really prominent throughout the song.
Yeah, I feel like it added a really nice layer to it. I love saxophone.
The bass, I think, was the forefront of the mix for me.
Yeah, for sure. I would agree with that.
Yeah, and this is totally unexpected. You guys can let us know in the comments. I do wonder if the Rolling Stones purists, appreciated this one, or if they were like, you guys need to step away from this sound and go back to your rock and roll vibe.
Yeah, I guess it really depends what type of music you like, right? Like,
yeah, I feel like from what we've gotten into thus far from the Rolling Stones, you would have to have more of an open mind with your concepts of music with the Rolling Stones if you like them, because they add so much diversity. So maybe this wouldn't have been as much of a shock factor as if like Metallica when they did their ballads or something, right? We did that where we, you get into hard, heavy hitting Metallica, and then all of a sudden they drop this commercialized ballad.
Yeah,
and
a lot of people are like, wait, what?
Yeah, a lot of people didn't like that at all from Metallica, right? Whereas with this, I feel like there's going to be probably people that don't like it as much as their rock and roll stuff, but they're not maybe as turned off by it.
Yeah, because they just expect more flexibility with their music.
Yeah. So interesting.
I thought it was cool though.
Yeah, it was great. It was a very cool experience. It was very different and just adds to the catalog of diversity, like I was saying with the Rolling Stones, that it makes me think they can do anything that they want to, which is an attribute to their musicianship and their creative juices, right? That they bring to the table. That's what you want to see, creativity, right? Experimentation. And the other thing that I'll just mention briefly is the clarity in this. It really sounds great. And that's what's happened with all our Rolling Stones songs, is the way they've mastered it, engineered it, produced it is always fantastic when it comes to the Rolling Stones.
Super clean and crisp.
It does.
Yeah, I would agree with that too.
So thank you, Jamie, for dropping that for us.
Another great request.
Let us know, guys, if you also agree with this unique perspective that Jamie brought us on the channel. If you're like, yeah, cool, great pick. But if you don't like it, then just don't say anything. Keep those comments to yourself.
If you don't have anything nice to say nothing at all. We
got Jamie's back here, so sorry, guys. Let us know, though, if you guys want anything else on the channel from the Rolling Stones.
Yeah. Their catalog is huge and we've got a long way to go.
Yeah, we've gotten into much more, obviously, than in the beginning, where we were at 0 Rolling Stones experience. I think we maybe have done 8 or 9 tracks from them now at this point. But as Sam said, huge catalog, right?
Yeah, well, years and years worth of music, right? So
yeah, and if you're hearing that, it's not a plane that's landing beside
No, that distracted me for a second. I was like, wait a minute.
Somebody needs their exhaust fixed is all the problem is. Anyways, guys, hopefully you're having a great day today and the rest of the day goes well. We see you tomorrow. Other than that, take care.
Thanks for watching.